Hi everyone. Welcome to Coaching from the Canvas on Friday, July 14th, 2023. I had an entire setup for you today, and what's happened is there is another message that came through as I was setting things up that feels important to share with you today. So I am Ellen Jenny Watkins, and I'm coming to you from my office studio. I am wearing my Fear is Not an Option t-shirt that I got from the Diane von Furstenberg store when I went to go see the Ashley Longshore exhibit for her women's series, Roar. So to all my powerful women out there, roar. For those that don't know, Diane von Furstenberg's mother told her this when they were running from the Nazis, and it's just such an important message for all the things that we need to do that we're afraid to do because we're afraid of being judged, we're afraid of the voices in our head, or we're afraid that it's going to end up in something terrible. Like for me, it was always being alone, being abandoned. We'll go into that another time. But I had an entire separate Coaching from the Canvas message to share with you today about values that has come up for a couple of my coaching clients. But as I was setting up for you, for us today, another message came down. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. So first off, though, we're starting a new series, the Heartwave series. That's the title we have for it now. It may stick, it may change, that's fine. But what it is the concept of how do we resonate out beyond us, and how does our resonance affect us and others around us? We now know, and science has proven, that something with a more powerful energetic essence, it doesn't even have to be a higher frequency necessarily, but sometimes it is, but something with a more powerful resonance impacts us. This is why we feel better when we go into nature, when we go into a forest. So of course, that's huge. It has more powerful resonance. Similarly, when we go sit at the ocean, it has more powerful resonance, and we acclimate, our bodies acclimate to that resonance. It's why when someone walks into the room and you can feel their goodness or their like not so greatness, and your body reacts to that. So your body's acclimating to the resonance that they put out. So the concept here is we can create paintings that can affect your resonance that are so powerful that you immediately walk into a room. And we know art can do this, that your body automatically shifts, that your heart wave automatically shifts. So similarly to brain waves, right? We know that your brain wave changes depending on the state that you're in. So I presume that your heart wave changes with the state that you're in. And science has measured the heartbeat, EKGs, but the heart wave, like, I can't find it online. So for all my scientist friends watching, help me find it, because right now it doesn't seem to exist. The closest thing we have is an EKG. That being said, we now know the heart emits a toroid field, like a Tesla coil, or if you think about an apple core, right? We know that the heart emits that, and we know that it goes out about 6-ish feet beyond you. I have almost 6 feet of arms here, so like stick your arms out and see what that is for you. So when we can be in our heart space, when we can resonate in our heart and be balanced in our energy, we resonate out to those around us in really good, positive ways. So the concept of this series is, how do I create a painting that has heart waves similar to brain waves that then impact your chakras and your energy systems so that you, when you walk into this room, when you walk into your home, when you walk into the office that has this painting, you're immediately, subconsciously, automatically put into a state of resonance with this painting. So how can we do that? All right, that's what we're working on here. Also, I am a perfectionist. I get locked into perfection and how does it look in my mind? Even in my life, like I know perfection is impossible. It's a mantra I live by. I get stuck in the good enoughness of a project as I plan it out in my head. So I am setting the intention for this project to play. Whew. And that feels really weird to me, to play, even though we know that essence is so important. So the intention is to play, to be curious, to see what transpires. Like, is it even possible to do this? And not get stuck in the vision of my head, in my head that I have that's pretty freaking amazing. And how do I live up to that? So I'm going in with a playful attitude. So in that playful attitude, I've pulled out some canvases that I had started working on before, but this just didn't lead anywhere. And for those that have followed me really since college, you know that I write in my paintings. And there's these downloads of words that come in to me. And so I started putting them in my paintings and getting that energy in there. So one of the ones I want to share with you today is this here. And I know you can't see it on this video, but I'm going to share it with you. And I don't know when I wrote this, but I kind of have a memory that these canvases were created about, well, it was definitely pre-pandemic. So 2018, 2019, maybe. So here's what it says. And so I have conversations with spirit, with God, with that God essence. And it says, what will you have me paint today? What will you have me paint today? When we surrender, and that's been a big word for me, when we surrender to allowing, when we surrender to allowing, and again, not getting stuck in the perfection of what it's supposed to be, then really cool things can happen. And here was the response. It says, paint your heart, your soul heart. Feel it there, behind and below your physical heart. So there, behind and below, behind and below your physical heart. Think about that space. You've got your physical heart. What's the space behind that? But before your spine, that connects to that thymus gland, to that spot on your energetic lines that run through your body, like right there. Your soul heart. Deep inside, deep outside, because we resonate. Both and. Always and never, because it's timeless, right? What you do is up to you, but you need to start. But you need to start now, or I'm going somewhere else. It's time. What you do is up to you, but you need to start now, or I'm going somewhere else. It's time. Paint your soul. The whispers on the wind, come to me. Let me guide you. You are safe. You are whole. You just don't know it or don't accept it yet. But we are here together, and you are safe, safer than you realize. Now is the time. Get to it. Wow. Paint your soul. The whispers on the wind. Come to me. Let me guide you. You are safe. You are whole. You just don't know it yet or accept it yet. How many times do we hear things logically, but we don't allow them to permeate our bodies and really resonate and take home in our cellular makeup, in our cellular memory, in our cellular body, right? But we are here together, and you are safe, safer than you realize. Now's the time. Get to it. So I think I'm going to save those words. Sometimes words get painted over, but I think we're going to save those words. And that's the message today. The message from the past that goes into the future that sometimes we need to hear again. Are you accepting that you're safe as you start these new journeys? As you reach into play, into curiosity, into willingness and allowing? If it's a new space for you, of course it feels unsafe. Of course it feels uncertain. Our subconscious, neuroscience has proven our subconscious likes to have certainty, So where can we play in the uncertainty? That's the message today. All right, let's put some marks on some paintings. When I was setting this up, I asked the question that I've asked for years, and I said, what do we want to paint today? And I heard red. And again, those that follow my story, you know that I've learned over the years to pay attention to that directive. It's a directive. It's not an option. It's a directive. And so I hear red. And then I heard, okay. And I like to sometimes ask like what brush or how, it's a little more directive. And I heard with your hands. With your hands. All right, I'm going to set this up by also saying there's this amazing, beautiful painting that I did early in my career, like art school time, that I painted with my hands. It's called Lily. It is in the series or in the collection of a collector that has 3 of my paintings from the early days. And I remember that painting really well because I was coming into my own as a young woman. I was coming into and healing my sexuality and the abuse that I had when I was a child. And it was just so beautiful and so resonant. And I painted the lily with my hands, and it is such a beautiful resonance painting. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, I haven't painted with my hands since then. So I've got some gloves because I also don't want paint under my fingernails like used to be forever. And I've already got some colors set up. So I heard paint red. So I've got phthalo red here. And I want to point out something for those that are watching. Look at these 2 reds. One's a little brighter, one's a little darker. They're both phthalo red, which, God, I love the phthalos. I love them. P-T-H-A-L-O. Phthalo colors. They just have this depth that you can play with on them. And I use them a lot in my paintings, a lot. When I'm dead and someone will be looking at these paintings, they'll be looking for phthalos, and it'll be one of the markers of an original Ellen Jenny Watkins or Ellen Sullivan from back in the day. I also know that I don't want it just out of the bottle, so I have some phthalo blue here. So let's start playing. I'm going to start painting on this big canvas here. You can see there's words there too. These are going to be covered over. I'll read them to you because it's fun. It says, Spirit asked, what is your intention? So So you get asked questions too yourself. And I responded. It says, I responded to paint more. Again, daily. And I want you to know, as a woman who also runs her business, does workshops, has corporate clients, a family, and just freaking life, daily. And that means like as a job, Monday through Friday in my head. Of course, weekends are in there too. But like daily consistency, that's big commitment. All right, that's what it says. And Spirit said, this is this next section, then it's time for another 52 and 52. Now, this is also an old canvas, so clearly I didn't do it, but maybe this will turn into it. But it's an intention to have that consistency. So at the end of 52 weeks, you have 52 images. That's what the original 52 and 52 was about. All right. And then it says, bring the light, bring the blessings, bring the healing, bring the love. I take care of the rest. Maybe that is part of the message. It goes very clearly with these other two canvases. All right, so here we go. I have some water set up too. I'm gonna dip. I like to have like a dark water and a light water, because as we paint, right, dark can overtake the light in a lot of ways. And that's just the way it is. All right, so this is turning out pretty deep, really dark. That's okay. I'm gonna keep it here. And I've run out of phthalo red actually, so I'm just gonna use what I have here, and I'm gonna start making marks. So here we go. You ready? Because the first step, it's freaking always the hardest, right? That's cliche. It's so cliche. But like, what can we do? Where am I gonna put this? What can we do to just start making marks? So here we go. All right, so a couple of things here. One, I'm wearing gloves that I normally wouldn't wear. Two, I'm loving the red on the canvas way more than I'm loving the red on the palette. So it goes to show me how things can look differently once they're on a different situation. So where do you look at things differently? Where do you change the viewpoint? Where do you put things in a different light than they were before? And how does that help you see things differently? And how does that change the willingness that you have? Second, there's getting drips on some of these other paintings, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna turn them over. But I'm in these weird, crazy, like blood red gloves right now. So let me see if I can do it without getting red on these. And I also, I'm gonna clear up, the red that's on here. Because I love, oh my man, I've always been a messy painter. Always. And while you can't see it, there's red on these oranges now. That's not coming off, but that's fine. We're just going to flip them over. We will deal with that later. So here's a funny story about being a messy painter. Is back when I was in art school, I would go from the UT Art building to the UT Business building. And one day I had a bunch of blue on me. And I sat down in the business building, which is all, business people. And I looked down and there's phthalo blue all over this new desk, like all over. And I didn't even realize I had it on my body. I had it like on my arm somewhere. And anyway, like I went to the bathroom and tried to clean it up and wipe it off, but some of it had already dried, and then I smeared a little bit of it. I got most of it off, but a good portion of it was still on that desk. And I'm sure it's not there to this day. I'm sure some great cleaner person came and got it off, but like I've never ever not been a messy painter. Like it just gets everywhere. It just does. So it's part of the acceptance I have to have. All right, let's finish this red. Right? Okay, I'm good with that. A couple of things that were happening, and you can't see the top of this very well, which is funny because it looks crooked, but it is directly over the center of this desk space, even though it looks a little crooked in the video. Broke through. Messy. Messy. Okay, couple of things that were going on there were there it is. Were there's I like the imperfection of it, so I'm going to keep it. I was thinking that it would be red all the way across, but it's not. I also like that you can still see some of the words. We'll see if they stay. But what I really was enjoying is the red along the edge, which you'll see when you see it in person, but it almost frames the edge of this painting. So I was really purposeful and intentional about covering the edges and making a little reference of a frame. So that's the red. Now the other color that I heard today was gold. Like I know these heart waves are going to be in gold. I just know it. Like they're golden, they're essence, they're spiritual, they're healing, all of that. So I have this beautiful gold here, beautiful gold, and I'm going to paint straight from the bottle. And I'm actually let's see where it's going to go. I hear on the orange. So again, let's follow the directive. Let's see where it goes. And one of these wants to be kind of triangular. And the visual I've had always up until now was like one heart wave. Boop, 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 boop. But I'm seeing multiple, like multiple. So let's play around with that, see where it goes. And then I think we'll be done for the day for the coaching from the Canvas video. So let's see where it takes us. Again, follow your curiosity. Follow the lead. See where it takes you. I have a little brush here. Oh. And I'm just going to dip it in. And let's see. It's the heart wave of joy. It's the heart wave of being here, being back, of having fun. Joy and fun are two different intentions, but they sure do play together, don't they? So, let's go. What's the heart wave of fun? You can't see him very well. Let's see, the heart wave of fun. The heart wave of fun. It feels very smooth. It feels very smooth. And it feels big fun. Like how can we make big fun? Okay, let me just show you how it's turned out, since I know you can't see it very well here. And it's a little hard to see on the gold. But there's the heart wave of fun, right? Up at the top, they were, when I first started, they were a little more pointy. You can see on the bottom, as I started getting into the feeling, they became a little more rounded, right? And then on the corner one, as I started really getting into the emotion and the height of fun, right? There they are. Now I'm gonna work on like the viscosity of the gold so you can see them a little more. Obviously they're not showing up as prominently as I would like on the orange. So maybe there's some shadows that I can incorporate or some highlights in there. But again, this is where curiosity and fun and imperfection comes in. So, as we close out today, paint your soul. The whispers on the wind. Come home to me. Let me guide you. You are safe. You are whole. You just don't know it yet or accept it yet. But we are here together and you are safe. Safer than you realize. Now's the time. Get to it. Let that be your message. Get to it. See you next time. Bye, everyone.